There's a career move most professionals don't consider during a job search, and it can change everything. Board service. In Wanted, a board career, award-winning executive coach Marlo Lyons shows how professionals can pursue board roles to build credibility, expand influence, and create real career momentum, even without a C-suite title. Whether you're in transition or planning your next chapter, this book offers a smarter, more strategic path forward. Wanted, a board career, is available now. Find the link in the show notes.
We all have them. We all want them. We all need them. Friends at work. But could your work friends actually sabotage your career? Welcome back to Cracking the Code, a mini-series on the Work Unscripted podcast where we talk about the unfiltered truths about work, the things no one tells you when you get promoted, hired, or handed a leadership title. No fluff, no long lectures, just focused insight, curiosity, and real talk you can digest on your way to pickleball or between meetings. Let's get into it. Today's topic, friendship at work. More specifically, what happens when your friend becomes your boss? Or when you become the boss of someone who is your friend. What you may not realize is work friendships can quietly become career landmines. And the closer the friendship, the bigger the explosion when something goes wrong. Today, we're talking about why workplace friendships feel so powerful, why they often implode when power changes, a real leadership story that turned into a legal nightmare, and how to extricate yourself from a friendship at work without destroying your career. Listen carefully, because no one teaches this, but every leader eventually has to learn it, usually the hard way. Look, we all make friends at work. Think about it. You spend more waking hours with your coworkers than with your family. You go through stressful deadlines, difficult bosses, ridiculous meetings, organizational drama. And when someone else gets it, understands what you're experiencing, well, that bond forms fast. You start sharing things. First, it's harmless. I'm tired today. My kid woke me up 3 times last night. Then it becomes, let me tell you what happened in my house this weekend. And before you know it, you're talking about relationships, family chaos, parenting moments, embarrassing stories, real life. Because that's what friends do. And in the moment, it feels completely normal. But things can easily become complicated. Friendship assumes equality. If you are the boss and you are friends with a subordinate, that's a no-no. You are not equal. One of you determines the other's salary, career trajectory, and performance ratings. Get it? And it's more than not being friends with your subordinates. If you are coworkers, you may be equal now, but work rarely stays equal long term. Someone gets promoted. Someone becomes a manager. Someone becomes responsible for pay decisions, performance reviews, promotions, layoffs, and suddenly the dynamic changes. But the friendship often doesn't change fast enough, and that's when problems begin. Because the moment one friend becomes the boss, everything that was once casual becomes risky. Let me tell you about a situation one of my female clients experienced. She had a male colleague she had worked with for years, and they were really close, real friends, hanging out on weekends together. They confided in each other. They shared life stories, parenting moments, embarrassing situations, talked about difficult people in the office. You get it. The kind of conversations that happen when people genuinely trust each other. For example, she once told him about the awkward moment of explaining the birds and the bees to her young child. Another time, she shared a chaotic parenting story about her kid grabbing the nanny's phone and seeing something they absolutely should not have seen. These were human moments. Funny, mortifying, real, and they shared them because they were friends, not boss and employee, just friends. But then something changed. She was promoted. Now she was his boss. And eventually, she tried to get him promoted. She advocated for him. She pushed for it. But the organization blocked the promotion. She couldn't make it happen. And that's when everything flipped. The employee who she had shared years of personal conversations with filed a complaint, accusing her of sexual harassment. Was it harassment? Well, that's not for me to judge. In her mind, it was a mutual friendship conversation that existed for years before she became the boss. But once power and disappointment entered the picture, the story got rewritten. The texts and the emails all looked different from a legal perspective, from an HR perspective, from an organizational risk perspective. Here's the uncomfortable reality. Intent does not matter as much as power dynamics. Once you become someone's boss, you are no longer just a friend. You are their compensation decision, their promotion opportunity, their performance evaluator, their career gatekeeper. Even if you don't feel that power, they do. And if expectations aren't met, friendships can quickly become resentment. And resentment often becomes risk. So how do you know if your friendship has entered the risk zone? Here are 5 warning signs your work friendship is becoming dangerous. 1, oversharing your personal life. Talking about deeply personal topics creates documentation risk later. What felt like mutual storytelling can later be framed as inappropriate conversation. Number 2, special access. If a friend has more access to you than others, coworkers notice, even if nothing inappropriate is happening. Perception alone can damage credibility. Number 3, emotional dependency. When a colleague becomes your emotional outlet, boundaries disappear. That's where professional judgment starts slipping. Number 4, promotion expectations. Friends often assume loyalty will translate into career advancement, and when that doesn't happen, the disappointment becomes personal. And 5, confiding about work decisions. Sharing confidential information with a friend who is also an employee can create ethical and legal exposure. So what do you do if you become the boss of a friend? This is the part no leadership book really explains, because the truth is you can't just say, we're not friends anymore, but you do need to reset the relationship. And here's how. Step 1, name the change. Have the conversation. Say something like, our relationship matters to me, but my role has changed. I need to make sure I'm fair to everyone on the team, so some of the conversations we used to have can't happen the same way anymore. This isn't rejection, it's clarity, and it's a reset. 2, stop oversharing immediately. Leadership requires information discipline. Personal stories that were once harmless can become problematic when power exists. If you are now the boss, you have more power. The higher you go, the more you need to maintain confidentiality of information, both personal and professional. And step 3, equalize access. Your friend should not get extra meetings, extra transparency, extra advocacy, even if you want to help them. Fairness protects both of you. Step 4, put promotion conversations in writing. If someone you're close to wants advancement, document expectations, clarify what you can and cannot control. Never allow a promotion to feel like a promise from you. Step 5, let some distance happen. The friendship may shift, and that's okay. Healthy professional boundaries often mean no personal conversations, no late night texts, no emotional exchanges. That's not betrayal, that's leadership. So here's the final takeaway. Friendships at work are not bad. They're often what make work meaningful. But when there is a power shift that enters the relationship, boundaries must follow, because your responsibility as a leader isn't just protecting the friendship. It's protecting your credibility, your team's trust, and sometimes your career. So if you've been recently promoted, or if you're managing someone who used to be your close friend, ask yourself one question. Have the boundaries changed enough to match the power? Because if they haven't, the story that once felt like friendship may one day be told very differently. It might be time to have that conversation before HR has it for you. Don't say I didn't warn you. Thanks for joining me for this mini moment of insight where we talk about the realities of work no one puts in the job description. If today's episode of Work Unscripted helped you see your world a little differently, pass it along. Until next time, keep asking better questions and keep it unscripted. The journey is yours. Work Unscripted is produced and edited in partnership with the team at Palm Tree Podco and 21 Digby. The content for this week's episode was created by me, Marlo Lyons.